This week on Hooligan Nation, what happens when you mix a touch of Motley Crüe with a dash of KISS? When you put John Corabi and Bruce Kulick together, in this podcaster's opinion, you get a legitimate supergroup. Stay tuned as we review the Bruce Kulick John Corabi Union record. You know what that means, right? You got
nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. You got nothing.
Got nothing to lose. Got nothing.
Got nothing.
You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome back to Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric Podcast. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
Whoa. Welcome, hooligans. Welcome to another episode of the Hooligan Nation Podcast. And boy, we have given Father Rocco one of his wishes today. He gets to review the Bruce Kulick Union album. And, well, this was one of his bucket list things to do. Plus, we have news, music we're listening to, everybody's favorite weekly poll. But first, recap of last episode, the Founding Fathers and the Prince of Darkness. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, in life, the one thing that you really hope you can do is go on all the rides and have nothing left. Like Gene Simmons said it best. When you get close to the finish line, do you slow down or you keep on speeding up and make sure you got everything out of the tank? To me, Ozzy got everything out of the tank, and Black Sabbath, like they couldn't have asked for a perfect, more appropriate close to a chapter of the foundation of rock, of heavy metal. I mean, it was a fun episode to do. Ozzy was a big part of my life. I know it was a big part of your life, Black Sabbath. And yeah, I think the biggest word I get is closure. They were able to go out on their terms and celebrate the fans that followed them, celebrate the band, celebrate each other. So that's what I get from it.
You know what I get?
Yeah.
You get the last word. No, there's nothing I can say that can beat that. News. You got any news?
I do. It's from Blabbermouth. It was on July 13th, 2025. Anthrax Joey Belladonna announces August 2025 Florida tour celebrating Ronnie James Dio. Joey's tribute band to Dio has announced a 4-date tour of Florida for next month, performing songs from Dio, Black Sabbath, and Rainbow. The dates will be August 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, and you can find the full article in Blabbermouth.
Cool, yo. So you do a much better job than I do with where you get your information from, because I never write it down and never remember it. But Firehouse's new single, Mighty Fine Lady, is now available on Spotify.
Oh, cool.
They had it out and for sale on their website for a couple weeks. I said a couple weeks ago that I figured it was going to be on Spotify at some point. So for all you Firehouse fans, even for you people that aren't Firehouse fans, I think it's a damn good song.
It is.
It is now available on Spotify. Also, Living Colour is working on a new album that they hope to complete this fall. So if they complete it by this fall, it's got an outside chance of being out by the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026. And for a little Bruce Kulick-centric news, John Corabi is currently working on a new solo album, no release date set yet.
Thank you for that Firehouse tip. You have a nice little string going of the last couple of weeks of giving me some new stuff.
Music we're listening to. You got anything?
This is going to surprise you.
Oh boy.
Rainbow.
Oh, okay. Old Rainbow.
Old Rainbow. I didn't know there was a new one.
Yeah, this will be interesting because will it be Ronnie James Dio or will it be Joe Lynn Turner?
I've been on a Dio kick. I got to be honest. I've been trying to sing a lot of his stuff. So Temple of the King, Man of the Silver Mountain, on the Silver Mountain, Catch the Rainbow, and Long Live Rock and Roll.
I can't argue. I'm a huge Joe Lynn Turner Rainbow fan, but I can't argue.
I love Joe Lynn Turner too.
And now, for our favorite segment of every episode. Do you happen to know what that could be?
It is Tony dancing on a pole.
Oh, no. Father Rocco is the one that dances on the
I thought-
pole.
You can dance this time. I'm going to pass it on to you. Say you do a good job.
The shit that I do to make these hooligans laugh. Boy. I'm telling you, if you people knew what the rest of my life was like, you'd know that that is incredibly out of character.
That's definitely out of character for him, but we are definitely trying to bring you at least some laughs and entertainment here.
The things that I'll do for subscriptions and clicks, boy, it's terrible. Hey, make sure you buy a coffee mug, okay? Just because I danced on screen.
There you go. HooliganNation.com.
It's right up here. So our weekly polls can be found on our community tab and on our Facebook group, Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric podcast. Just in case anybody's wondering how to vote, those are the two places that you can vote. The question was, which KISS stage show was the best? Your choices were, well, we can only put 4 choices down. So I put down 1977-78, Love Gun Alive 2. 1990, the Sphinx
You better
stage.
save some of that.
Woo.
That was good.
I even spelled it wrong and put Finks. No, it's a Sphinx stage.
That's like John Boover.
Hot in the Shade. 1982, 1983, Creatures of the Night, Lick It Up Tank stage, and the 2015 Spider stage. Those are the 4 that I put in. I also gave people an option to write in choices, and 2 were written in, so I will give you the choice of these. One was End of the Road Tour. The other one was 1980, which was the Unmasked Tour. So with those 6 choices, Father Rocco, thank you. What are you choosing?
I got to go with Alive too. I mean, the album cover tells it all.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. Some of these, they come up, or I come up with them, or you come up with them, and until I click, I don't know where I'm going. As soon as I put it down, I was like, how can I not? And it's for that exact reason. When you open up Alive 2, you go, oh my God. Yeah. And so, yeah, I have to agree with you. Now the question is, what do you think the hooligans said?
I tell you what.
Keep in mind, we had write-in votes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying the write-in vote, when you add Unmasked, if everybody had that same choice, I would think Unmasked would have got a lot of votes. The 80 had Unmasked, but I mean, I'm still going to go with Alive too, because just, that I think it's the most iconic out of all of them.
Well, probably a good choice. So first off, somebody wrote in End of the Road. No judgment. Was not my favorite, but it got 4% of the vote.
Okay.
1980. It's kind of funny, and it's only funny because they only toured, I believe, Australia and New Zealand in 1980. There was no American tour, so guess who wrote in 1980?
Our buddy Dan the Man.
Dan the Man. And that came up as 4% of the vote. And then 2015 Spider Stage, which I thought was a really cool stage.
It is. I watched the video.
But that came in at 8%. 1982, 1983, Creatures of the Night, Lick It Up Tank stage, I thought would get more love. That also came in at 8%, which was a little bit of a shock to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody wrote in a very good comment that is true. Other than the tank, it really wasn't that great of a stage, and they're right. And I double checked, and they're right. It actually, that stage gets more historical love maybe than it should. I've always said if I created my dream stage, the tank would be in it. but there would be a lot of
I
other
have other
things
stuff too.
around the tank stage, and they just put the tank in there pretty much. Coming in at 14% was the Sphinx stage of 1990.
It's a cool stage show.
Oh, it was great. The lasers coming out of the eyes, the band coming out of the mouth when it comes out. Everything about that was great. But as you said, nothing lives up to 77, 78, Love Gun Alive 2, which came in at 62% and probably should have come in there. So it seems like every week we get more and more votes. So thank you for participating in our weekly polls. We do currently have a weekly poll up right now. No, I don't know what it is because I can't remember, and we tape a couple weeks ahead.
One other note, hooligans out there, I say it every episode. Your opinions matter. So add if you have any ideas for poll ideas that you'd like, or any ideas in general that you want us to venture into, feel free to add it in the comments, or also put it on the community tab or in our Facebook page. And if you're not on the Facebook page, check it out because a lot of hooligans have banter back and forth sometimes. So jump in.
And please help me out. I need help. I need lots of help in a lot of different ways. And now, on to the main event. We are going to review the first post-KISS Bruce Kulick venture, and it's the self-titled Union album. And we'll go with some band facts first. So Union was, of course, Bruce Kulick on guitars, vocals, and producing. John Corabi, guitar, vocals, and producing. Brent Fitz on drums and vocals. Where are you? You're here. And Jamie Hunting on bass and vocals. Also producing this album was Kurt Cuomo, and this album was released on February 24th, 1998. The label was Mayhem Records, and literally, I don't think it sold much at all, unfortunately. But the reception, Alex Henderson of AllMusic called it superb and one of 1998's strongest record releases. And I would have to agree with that completely. Album artwork, it's a symbol. It's a black. It's just like Bruce. It's subtle. It's not extravagant. It's not over the top. It's not any of that. It's not memorable in any way. And this breaks my heart and kills me. I do not think there was a single released for this. I know that there was no music videos released, which I think both of those things really hurt the album incredibly.
Yeah, timing is everything, and I think that maybe a different time in time it may have been better received, and maybe that it would have made a single happen. I think timing hurt this album probably.
I don't think you're wrong, but I actually kind of disagree. I think this was a good enough album that it didn't matter when it came out because of what we're going to talk about. It's got a little grungy feel to it. I think what hurt this album, and I've heard in interviews from Bruce that they signed with Mayhem Records, and Mayhem Records were about broke.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
They were very badly ran because I think there's a couple songs on this album that are worthy of singles and worthy of music videos, and you can't find anything like
so they weren't getting a push.
No, they got absolutely no help at all. My God, if you go into Spotify, and I spend a lot of my time on Spotify, but if you go into Spotify, it's literally disgusting. What I think is the best song on this album, before we even get to it, is Love, I Don't Need It Anymore. Has 69,549 downloads as of today. Are you kidding me?
That's not much at all.
I have played that song at least 10,000 times. So I get 10,000. I mean it's incredible. Like that's a damn shame, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this, because if you're a hard rock heavy metal fan, for sure if you're a KISS fan and if you're a Bruce Kulick fan and you haven't listened to this, you need to listen to this because I think it's worth it personally.
And this was my first go round. I waited till we did the review for this. I've never listened to it till recently.
Well, in that case, what do you say we get into the songs?
I think we could do that.
All
So
right.
the one little note I have to make on this, and I think you may agree with me, but I could be wrong. When you look at the genre that it says for this, I had to look at the genre after listening to the whole thing because the genre should add grunge on this because there is a lot of grunge feel in a lot of these songs, but it just says a rock metal genre. So I thought, if you think rock metal, there was more going on on this album.
I'll do you one better. I put down this is a hard rock with a touch of metal, grunge, and industrial, and add a sprinkle of pop on top. And I think that I think it's got all of that. It is definitely a grungy record. It has some industrial in it, and it's a little harder than hard rock in certain places. So yeah, I think, and that's part of the reason why I think it's a great album for the time, because it definitely isn't a hair metal record, but it also isn't a hard rock record or a heavy metal record. It's grunge, it's industrial, it's all of those things, and then it does have a poppy feel in some places.
True. And the other thing too is it's a Union. I mean, obviously it's a KISS-Centric, so it's more of a Bruce album than anything else. Corabi's famous and everything, but we're going to look at this and listen to this, and first thing we're thinking about is Bruce's effect and his impact on the album. And for me, I noticed right away a difference, but not hearing Kiss with Bruce. It was an interesting vibe going through each song.
And one more thing, if Revenge and Carnival of Souls shacked up for the night and did the dirty, out would pop 9 months later, out would pop this record to me.
Which to parlay on what you just said there shows how much impact that Bruce had
Absolutely.
on Revenge and Carnival of Souls. So we go to song number 1. The song is called Old Man Wise. Again, we're going to go back to the grunge. I put kind of a grunge feel, pretty decent groove. I enjoyed the song. It wasn't something that I would definitely not. We always equate our reviews to this. It's not a song I would skip. It's not a song that would stand out completely for me, though.
So for me, I think this is a no bullshit, no fluff hard rock song. Corabi rocks, Brent Fitz pounds, and Bruce doesn't overplay. And I think I think that's very important, especially for the first song. Is I know for me, I bought this record when it first came out, and I thought, oh my God, here's Bruce's chance to do his Vinnie Vincent routine and prove to everybody that he's a guitar god. And instead of doing that in perfect Bruce fashion, he was responsible and he did the same thing that he did with Kiss. He played responsibly. Yeah. And he did it where it needed to be, and he didn't do it where it didn't need to be.
One other thing about that song you drew my attention to, you noticed the drumming. That you definitely noticed the drumming in that song right away.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm a fan of Brent Fitz, and that's part of, I think, the reason why I paid attention to it.
Okay. And that'll bring us to our second song, Around Again. I enjoy the guitar solo from Bruce. Some really cool guitar work all throughout, but again, appropriate guitar work. Not too much, not too little. I think it was a pretty well arranged song. It's not a standout song for me. And again, listen, I've listened to this album one time, so I just like with some of the Kiss albums, I will probably go back and listen to this over and over again, and I'll probably have my take will probably alter a little bit in different areas. So like my first take on Around Again, I enjoy the guitar solo again, and Bruce does some really good guitar work and not overboard, perfectly placed.
For me, it has a little bit of grunge feel without being too much. Not a big fan of grunge, but I like this. And I love Bruce's guitar work here. I mean, you're going to hear that throughout the album. It was nice. I feel as though Bruce had the restrictions taken off of him and he was at the top of the food chain. He co produced it, he co wrote most of the songs. This is essentially his and Corabi's band. So he had a lot more control, and I think he does a great job with that control.
Yeah, and he didn't, like I said, he didn't do too much. At least
Nope.
song by song, he didn't do too much on this song. Everything he did, I thought was appropriate.
No, I didn't think he did too much on any song on this record, and I went into it expecting him to do too much.
All right, so that'll bring us to the third song, Pain Behind Your Eyes, acoustic intro that I love. I like Corabi's vocal, very cool solo. I definitely, it's a song that I would put as one of my songs that I like. It's definitely one of my top songs on the album.
Another song with a grunge feel, mixed with a little bit of a Black Sabbath feel to me.
Mm.
And for me, I picked up a lot of what I thought was influence that they put into this album. You can feel, at least for me, where their influences come in. Both Corabi and Bruce Kulick.
All right.
Mm.
Oh, nice, nice coffee mug. I like that. Is that a Hooligan Nation coffee mug?
It is. It is. And the coffee tastes so good in this. And even when you drink your coffee in a Hooligan Nation coffee mug and you listen to Bruce Kulick's Union album, it even sounds better.
Where could I get that? Can I tell my friends all about it?
Absolutely. You can look up
Oh, okay. There it is.
right up there, right at that website, hooligan-nation.com.
Yeah, we're a couple of knuckleheads, but enjoy. If you want a mug, you want some merch, there you go. All right, so we're gonna go on to song number 4. I'm gonna let you take over the wheel most of this. I'm just gonna give you what I put on it because this is a song that I already have listed in a little note here that the jury's still out and I have to listen some more. So, but my initial feel, it's an 80s feel, big time, hair band feel to me. To me, I feel I felt a little bit of where the Down Boys go from Morton a little bit in some of the harmonies. Um, but I do like the guitar groove in it, and but I am going to pass it on to you now for the rest of this.
I absolutely love this song. I have loved this song since the day the CD came out and I bought it. I, in my opinion, this is the hit of the record. It's a damn near perfect song that should have had a music video and should have been a hit. And I mean, to me, you listen to the song and you go, why didn't this become anything huge? It's almost like
Mm.
listening to a Jackal album. Like, why? Why didn't this to me is a hit song. It has everything that needs to be in a hit song. And I said it got 69,000 downloads on Spotify in 26 years. Like Spotify, I don't know what year Spotify came out, but there's songs on here that have 1 billion downloads, and this doesn't even have 100,000 downloads. That's a travesty to me.
You know what especially from what we talked about earlier in this, it shows how the right producer, the right marketing, the right music company can really accentuate something good, or it could miss something. And if this was in different hands, um, it could have had a lot more success to it.
I mean, this was somewhat of a super group. We all have to remember it's 1990, it's 1998. Like Bruce just left Kiss. Corabi just left Motley Crue. They should have been able to come together and do something. I have to blame the record company for this.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You said that they were having money restraints, so that it wasn't properly marketed.
You put this on a major label, and I think this becomes a platinum album.
Again, I got to listen. I mean, for me, I mean, I probably owe a little more to the Hooligans on this. I need to listen to this again. I listened to it once, and I probably am going to give you more of a thorough take as I go listen to it some more. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of this on this album I like too. Um, but that'll get us to the next song. Heavy D was a rapper back in the day. I had to, man. I figured if I didn't, you would.
He had the boys.
Yes, he had the boys, and he found love. All right, so anyway, the song
You got me to dance. I'm not gonna rap today.
What? Okay. All right, so Heavy D, the song, way too long, very grungy, some good moments, and definitely a very Alice in Chains feel to it. There's a lot to like about the song. I felt like it was too long, and there definitely could have been some tweaks to make the song a lot better. I look at the song and I say possibilities.
I think this is a well-written and meaningful song. Another song that has a grungy feel. I have a feeling that's what they were going for. Hard, angry vocals and guitars were just amazing. Into a lull. The song is an emotional roller coaster
But
for
what
me.
you just said there, that lull, I think that's what made me feel like it was a little too long, and it could have been produced better.
They were as an average, they were long songs. That it's got a Carnival of Souls feel, but it's also got a revenge feel.
Mm.
They probably could have cut some time down on some of these songs, maybe.
Which sometimes when they do that, it makes it a tighter song.
Right. But you know, the other half is your Corabi, your Bruce Kulick. This is your project. You can do whatever you want
Sure.
for the first time. So they did what they wanted.
Which
And
makes
I,
me,
and I think for the most part, they were successful.
I tell you what, halfway through this, it's making me like curious about. At some point, we'll go to the next. They did 2 albums. It's going to make me interesting to see on the next album how much different it's going to be from this one. So it's going to be fun. But that being said, I'm going to go to number 6, "Let It Flow." I love the guitar work in this song. The beginning of the song has a really slow start to it. But the second half of the song, I love what Bruce puts down on guitar, and I dig it. I dig the song. But the beginning of it, I didn't care for it that much. It definitely was a little bit of a slow burn, but then once it kicks in, it had me.
It felt a little disjointed to me to start, but kind of grew on me through the song. And I think the song ends strong. It's not a throwaway song.
No, definitely not.
It's a little disjointed.
You got to make it through halfway. You got to be able to make it to that point.
Mm-hmm.
That will bring us to the 7th song, "Empty Soul." I wrote down on here "stale," not feeling this tune much. Again, this is an album I got to listen to again. I didn't really dig this song at all. Very stale, and I wasn't feeling it. And I skipped on to the next one.
It has an old feel to start. Made me think of The Doors, which I'm not a huge fan of The Doors, but that's what it made me feel like. This,
How you getting in the room?
you go through the window. Don't go through the doors, go through the window. But I feel like the song builds and turns into a great song. So it's like, what song was that before? Let it was yeah, it was
Let it flow.
Let It Flow. It's almost the same kind of feeling. Like the song builds, and about halfway through the song, they get it right, but it takes half the song to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like this is a good band. There's no doubt in my mind this is a good band in the way it's structured, but there's some things they could have did to be tighter on the whole project. We go to the 8th song, one of my favorites on the album, "October Morning Wind." I love the acoustic start. I enjoy the chorus. This is a very enjoyable song, and it will be definitely on a playlist of mine.
Yeah, I think it's a great poppy song. It has a pop feel to it a little bit. I love the acoustic guitars. It's another well-written song and another song that should have been a radio and music video hit. Like, this is the second song
Yeah.
on this album that I think is a radio hit that got nothing. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
it's a shame, but as we're going through this, I said it before, but it makes you think, how many times does good music go by the wayside because it's not properly pushed?
Yep. I think this is a poster child for that.
Yeah. Now, Get Off My Cloud. That would be the next song. It's a decent groove, decent tune. Bruce's solo is really good in this. Bruce has always had very tasteful solos. You know what I mean? Like, I can listen to a song that may even be considered a bad song, not necessarily in this album. I can listen, but if I hear Bruce doing whatever he does, even short solos, whatever, he knows how to start it, he knows how to finish it, and make it tasty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Another song with a grunge feel. I feel like the production is off on this song. Actually, specifically, I feel like the vocals are too high. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm right or not, but I do agree with you. Great guitars throughout.
Is that the one where I said I think David Coverdale would have done a better job singing that flavor? I think. I don't know if that's the song. We can move on. I don't know if that's the song.
I don't know. I don't think John Corabi would agree with you.
Well, I know he wouldn't agree with me. All right, Tangerine. So Tangerine is actually one of my favorites on the album too. It starts out with a killer. I mean, I'm talking killer intro guitar part. I wrote down Fire because I love it. It's probably one of my favorite intros that Bruce ever did. And as far as intro guitar solo parts, it's fantastic. Then into a really cool riff. I'm really digging the tune, and I actually really like Corabi's vocals in this song. It's a cool tune, and Bruce goes off. This song hit me right away. Like, this was not one that I feel like I had to go back to listen to. It's definitely gonna be on a playlist, and it's definitely one of my favorites on the album.
This to me is Bruce's Guitar Hero song. And even with that being said, he still didn't do too much. I think Corabi kills it with the vocals. It's got a catchy hook. It was at this point that I was really asking myself, why didn't this entire album become a hit?
We went through a lot of these reviews with KISS, and I'm saying stuff that all of a sudden it's hit me in the head. Bruce and Ace have a lot in common.
Well, we've said that before.
But I'm saying they're perfect chefs. They never do too much. They never do too little, and most of what they do is always appropriate.
Yep. You can call Ace Frehley a guitar hero. I won't.
No,
argue
not
with you.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a guitar hero. I mean, how many people have been influenced by Ace Frehley?
But Ace, I don't think anybody can show me a song, a solo where Ace went too long, did too much. And same thing can be said for Bruce. They were both responsible with the power that they had. There's no Vinnie Vincent's, there's no Mark St. John's here. There's just do what is needed to benefit the song and the record. And I think that makes them responsible. And also, in my opinion, has to elevate them to a different level. Because I think you can say the same thing about Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Jimi Hendrix. Look, none of these guys.
They take you on a journey. They take you on a journey, and they bring you right back where you need to be.
Right. They never went too far. They never Yngwie Malmsteen. They never Vinnie Vincent. They never did that. And for me, I'll take Ace and Bruce and those guys over the guys that want to do a 10-minute solo in a song that should be 3 minutes long.
I'll give you a weird analogy that's going to correlate with sports. You got the what do they call that with the when they do the agility tests and stuff for football?
Are you talking about the combine?
The combine. The combine, right? You got to see how fast you are. You got to see how you got to air it all out and show your best skill ability. But you're not playing to win. You're just showing your best skill ability. These guys put down and played to win, not to show how good they were.
You know
what I mean?
It took a while for you to get there, But yeah, I can agree with that. For being someone that watches a whole lot of the combine every year, you see these physical freaks that get drafted way too high and never become anything. And what did the general manager say 4 or 5 years later? Oh, well, he tested so well in the combine. Well, unfortunately, the combine is without pads and without other players. And yeah, I see your analogy and I agree with that. Yeah. So you can play the loudest, so you can play the fastest. That does not mean you can play the best.
Right. All right. That brings us to Robin's song. I put acoustic featured vocal for Corabi. I like his voice on this. I like all the acoustic guitar stuff. I feel like this is actually a different feel for Bruce on guitar. Like he shows you another avenue, and I like it because it's stuff that, obviously I'm mostly acoustic player. You've heard me say it many times, but it's stuff that I would want to learn how to play immediately. So it's not my favorite song on the album, but I thought Karabi's voice had a different twist to it, and it was a good twist. And I thought Bruce did some really good work on this.
So this song feels like extreme to me. And I find that funny because I'm not a big extreme fan. But I think this is a beautiful song. Great, great use of the acoustic guitar. Bruce seems to me like he is a professor of the acoustic guitar. Karabi's voice is perfect for this song, and I think it's another hit
Hmm.
on a record that nobody bought.
Oh, darling. It's a Beatles song cover from Lennon and McCartney. I thought they did a good job. I don't know if that was really necessary on the album, but and I know you got a lot of big opinion on this one, probably. It's actually it's a good Beatles song that you don't hear much. You don't even want to touch this one, do you?
Well, this may shock the entire Hooligan Nation, but this is probably my least favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
I can't imagine why. And I'm not hating. It Before I even looked at who wrote it, I was not a big fan of this song. I do think the guitars are great throughout, and I do think this is where I'll get weird. Corabi connects with the song really well. I don't I feel like Corabi is connected to the song. Like he's not just singing it. I don't know
Yeah, that's a
exactly
good take. I
what
mean,
that means, but that's kind of the feeling that I got from that.
there's one aspect of that song, and it's gonna probably sound weird coming from me, being that I'm a Beatles fan, and I like that song a lot. I always have. The issue I got with it is this is Bruce and Corabi coming out with their album. There's not a need for a cover on your first album.
How many songs? How many songs are on this album?
13.
Yeah,
Well, no, 12, but 13 if you count the one that's on the bonus track in Japan.
Yeah, personally for me, I would have put 11 and cut this out. But I can understand. I not look. I don't follow John Corabi like I follow Bruce Kulick. I know Bruce.
Same here.
I know that Bruce is a big fan of the Beatles. So in that respect, I can kind of understand why a Beatles cover is on here. Also, I'll go back to what I said earlier as it relates to Corabi and Bruce Kulick. When you go from being Motley Crue singer and probably having zero control at all, and when you go from being Bruce Kulick, who I think over time, I do believe that over time, Bruce was given a little more say so. And I think this album really proves it without a doubt because I think the grunge thing had a lot to do with Bruce, and this album proves it. I know I'm not saying that it wasn't Gene's idea.
No. I'm saying, didn't Gene say he was leaning on Bruce for a lot of stuff?
Yeah, I think this was, at least at the time, this was Bruce's wheelhouse.
Right. And Gene was asking him questions about Creep from Radiohead. Like he was asking him questions. So I think that Bruce was kind of taking the lead at this point.
And I think what really proves, at least to me, what really proves the creativeness of Corabi and Bruce Kulick is the fact that this is not a grunge album. It has grunge in it.
It makes you want to think it is, but you're right. And then it
It-
changes lanes.
Right. It's almost like I'm not trying to say they created anything, because they didn't create anything, but they added a lot of pieces of genres in to create a unique sound.
Yeah.
And I do, whether you like the songs or you don't like the songs, or you like the production or you don't, or whatever it is, you have to give this album credit. It sounds like Union and only Union. They don't sound like Pearl Jam. They don't sound like Alice in Chains. They don't sound like Nirvana. They don't sound like Kiss.
They give
They
you
don't
flavors.
sound like Motley Crue.
Right. They give you flavors and feels, but they don't take it over.
Correct. They didn't go too far. And we all know that Kiss, specifically notoriously had gone too far. We're going to go with the set list that's on my birthday in 1998. How do you feel about that?
October 29th. Cool.
Yep. October 29th, 1998 at Coconut Teaser in Los Angeles, California. They open up to Old Man Wise. Second song is Around Again. Third song, Heavy D. Fourth song, Jungle, the Kiss cover. Love, I Don't Need It Anymore. Man in the Moon, the Scream cover. I Walk Alone, another Kiss cover with Bruce on lead vocals. Surrender, a Cheap Trick cover. Pain Behind Your Eyes, then Tangerine, then Power to the Music, a Motley Crue cover that comes off of the John Corabi Motley Crue album. And then they finish up with Honky Tonk Woman, the Rolling Stones cover.
I like that Bruce did I Walk Alone.
So do I. Actually, might I add, Bruce, if you're listening to us, we'll get you on.
Absolutely.
No, that's not what I was going to say. Bruce, if you're listening to us, play I Walk Alone at the Kiss Storms Vegas / Kiss Landlocked on a ship, whatever the hell they're calling it this week.
That would be lovely.
You really got to play I Walk Alone. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, listen, any hooligan out there to know Bruce, tell him if he hasn't seen it, let him know.
Hey, Bruce, after we reviewed this album, why don't you get a hold of Corabi, and why don't you reunite Union at Kiss Storms the Big Boat in Vegas, or we can landlock you two together, or something or another. I don't know. What do you think about that? Because I really love. Did I say that I really love? I Don't Need It Anymore.
No, yeah, you said that.
You know how much I love that song? I can promise you for the next 2 days that will play over and over in my head constantly, whether I listen to it or not.
I definitely will listen to the album again. That's for sure.
Okay, I just want to let people know, usually when we do these reviews, we try to do a stage show. Get serious. It's got 69,000 downloads in 27 years. There was no stage show. They were playing clubs. Unfortunately, I have a feeling that they never graduated to anything other than clubs, and that's a damn shame. Father Rocco, thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to add to wrap up?
Well, I mean, I've been waiting to review this for a while. I'm a huge Bruce fan. You know that. So are you. And I didn't know what to expect going in. I definitely didn't expect the grunge. I didn't know nothing about this album at all. And I did as soon as you start listening to song one, you're like, wow, it's grunge. I wasn't expecting that. Like I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe like, I don't know, like Crazy Nights or something like that. I don't know what I was expecting. All I know is I wasn't expecting the grunge thing. And it was an interesting journeying through it. I only listened through it once through. I'm going to listen to more of it. There's a lot of it I really like. Probably like more than I even expected to like. Bruce had a different flavor of guitaring on it, so it was a different feel for me listening to him. The one song Tangerine, I love the intro that he does on guitar there. Yeah, it just makes me want to listen to more. And actually, the biggest take I got from it is bring on the second Union album, because I want to see some of the things we had critique on. I want to see if it changes on the next Union album.
Yeah, it feels to me, and you would be able to answer this better than me because you're the guitar player, but it feels to me like Bruce was, I don't want to say allowed, because who knows if he wasn't allowed, but it feels to me like he produced a lot of different sounds with the guitar that maybe he hadn't done in prior Kiss albums. And look, I'd like to say I know what I'm talking about. I just know what I hear.
Well, you're an educated listener.
Well, but I don't know if I'm that educated. I don't know if it's pedals or it's distortion or what it is.
Listen, there are people who are producers that are professional sound guys that actually have to listen to certain things to put things in place. So that's a talent too. That's a skill. That's a musical talent.
Yeah, but
me and you battle this all the time. You're not able to venture through this stuff and have educated takes if you don't have the ability to listen and judge.
Well, certain people would tell you that I do not have an ability to listen.
Well, it depends on if it's a female talking to you or not. I didn't say that.
No, you said it, and I have it on tape, and I'm
Edit that out. Like
I'm leaving it.
Like Bruce did in Exposed. Edit that out. Edit that out.
Nope, can't do it. Look, here's what I'll say. I thought Corabi was a very good replacement for Vince Neil. I thought he was completely different, but I thought he was a very good replacement. I understand why he only made it one record, because Motley Crue fans wanted Motley Crue, and they were not going to settle for anything different. I have heard a couple times that the first idea was they were going to keep Corabi in the band, which, look, I can understand Vince wasn't going to have that, but if Motley Crue would have kept Corabi in the band, because Corabi can play guitar
He's
too.
a good guitar player,
yeah. It would have been, oh my God.
Yeah, Vince would have felt footsteps. That band, no way.
Right. But on a musical level, it would have been fantastic. And I killed the Motley Crue self-titled album when it came out because it wasn't Motley Crue. It didn't have Vince Neil. It wasn't Motley Crue.
I mean, listen, we talk about frontmen all the time, right? David Lee Roth. And was there any, in the 80s, was there any cooler looking frontman than Vince Neil?
I don't know that there was any cooler looking band.
I mean, but
other than maybe Guns N' Roses.
I mean, you look at Vince and all the chicks and stuff that were going after him and stuff like that, and his voice was different than anybody else. I mean, there was too much of an impact on their fan base, and then all of a sudden you bring in a guy like John Corabi to replace Vince. It just, I never felt it.
It didn't work.
I never felt it.
But if you revisit that album today, history has shined on that album. That is a very popular Motley Crue album these days.
I've never listened to it. I saw the video for it, but I know for one song, but I never listened to it.
That song is an amazing song, if you ask me. And there's a couple of, I mean, look, I don't love everything, but there's a couple other really good songs on that record that I like. And you put that together, I think, with Bruce Kulick, and you give them the freedom and the creativeness, and I think this is I don't think it's a great album, but I think it's a very good album. I think it's much better than it commercially gets credit for. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like him, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like him, so you don't miss any future episodes. and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us. And don't forget, if it's too loud, you're too old. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.